Yeah.
So who's your friend? Oh, jeez.
Oh my goodness!
Hey, buddy.
That's Annie.
Hey, buddy. Scared me to death.
Wow. Look at all of those hay bales.
Turn left.
As far as you can see.
Good morning, guys. We are out of the Black Hills. Well, I don't know. I guess we still are.
Well,
I don't know where we
we're
are.
out of Black Hills National Forest, but
Yes.
you could say we are still in the Black Hills.
We're in a great big huge bowl, looks like.
It's changing.
That-
Scenery is changing.
Has so much hay.
So much hay, y'all.
Wow. Elk next 6 miles.
As long as we don't hit one.
Oh, look, there's walking trails and stuff here. Oh, look, bike trails. Oh my gosh. Wish we had our bikes.
What's there to... I mean, with all due respect to the place.
Well, it goes to up to those hills.
There's a mesa, a tiny one.
Yep. We have left Custer. We left the cabin we were staying in and the Pleasant Valley meat goat farms that we were staying at. And we went into Custer and we ate. What was the name of the place we ate at? Baker's Bakery and Cafe. And it was rated by Rachel Ray as the best breakfast in South Dakota, and it was mighty fine. It was a surprise find. We didn't even know we were actually going there.
Yeah, just let's eat some breakfast. Let's pull in here.
Yep. Shannon said she wanted a biscuit, and I said, surely the cafe has a biscuit. Then she didn't even order a biscuit. So, but we left there, and we are headed to Harrisburg, I believe is the name of the town. The guy sent me a pen. But I found him on Agribusiness World.
Harrisburg, Nebraska.
Nebraska, yes. And I found him on Agritourism World or something like that .com. And we are going to tour a buffalo ranch. I cannot get over how many hay bales there are.
It's just unbelievable.
Just about as far as the eye can see.
They're even bailing
The ditches.
the ditches.
Yes.
Don't let it do.
So far, we have driven right at 850 miles since Sunday at 5 p.m. It is now Wednesday at 11 a.m. Our butts have been plastered to these seats, but we've seen a lot of cool things.
Continue on US 18 bypass east for 3/4 of a mile.
Now we're headed to the Mammoth sites, and I don't know if that's going to be in South Dakota or Nebraska.
We actually don't know where we are. I'm so confused about what we're doing here.
The Mammoth site is...
Mammoth side is right there.
No way.
It's right there. know this is going to shock y'all, but Shannon has found a friend. Oh, 2 friends actually, looks like. Hello, puppy. Hello, buddy. How are you? Oh, yeah.
From Alabama.
Alabama. Ow. In case you guys didn't know, if you ever stop on the side of the road in Nebraska to take pictures of wild sunflowers, don't do it in Chacos. There's little thorns down in here. Or Birkenstocks. Yeah. You can, oh, you're still taking pictures. I was going to say, you can look at them in the car.
See? That'll have to be, donkey. We got some Nebraska sunflowers.
Not. Oh, they're wild sunflowers, which to me is even cooler. That this grows wild in the ditches down through here. Okay. Well, she says now she has to pee. The problem with that is I would hate to imagine how far it is from this point to indoor plumbing. Oh, dang, look at that. My debit card's laying right there. That would have been bad. They got signs here that say watch for crosswinds. Oh my God!
Everywhere.
Walk in the grass, Shannon says. There's grasshoppers. Oh, there are. Tons of them.
So that negotiation only took a year and a half. It seemed like forever. And my wife and I was just sorry about that bump. My wife and I just bought the ranch, all the equipment, all the it's everything, all the animals. Less about 15 or so animals up here. They're my folks. I just have out here managed. This pasture, we have a number of pastures. We moved through a double gate there. Brad, every pasture we have here comes back to the corrals, except for the pasture we're going into. The pasture we're going into needs a new stock tank, but the reality of it is there's only so much money in the world, at least on my ranch, and we got hit with a flood 3 years ago that really cost us $35,000 to get a new driveway out here. So it's kind of put us back a little bit in the planning and those kinds of things. So a new stock tank is due up here, so don't be critical of my stock tank, okay, man?
You don't have to worry about that.
This pasture is I'll say the native grasses on the ranch. That's not something a lot of my neighbors can say. As you guys travel back, were you going to Denver or were you?
Tonight we're going back to Scottsbluff,
okay,
and then we're going to Laramie,
okay,
and then back down to Denver.
Okay. Laramie's beautiful and over there. As you're looking at pastures and you're driving, you can compare our pasture to other pastures. And what we try to do here is not abuse things. So when I say that, we don't have a monoculture grass, so there's not just weeds and cheatgrass. We have prairie sandreed, we have western wheat, we have blue gamma, we have Kentucky bluegrass. I have to rattle off the other few, but we do a really good job, I'm proud of that, of rotating our animals. We got through the drought last year pretty successfully. We didn't hammer our pastures. It rained in June and we didn't have any more moisture until October. It was a really rough year. Normally I supplement 2 loads of hay a year. Last year I fed 7. And the herd, of course, is the furthest way they could be.
How many head?
I don't know. I know most people know, but here's the deal with buffalo. I can tell you how many meat bulls, how many breeding bulls, how many breeding cows, how many 1-year-old, 2-year-old, blah blah, ad nauseum. Where things get a little tricky is when we have calves. Right. So they do not sit still for longer than like 10 seconds, and you just can't count them. We have a pretty good handle on how many we have, and we would say right now there's right around 70 calves out there, which puts the herd at about 237 animals right now.
How many acres do you need per head?
Well, that's kind of the new school of thinking. I can follow your question and I can answer it. However, the new school of thinking is definitely A's, so 1,000-pound animals, an animal unit. If we want to convert, if we want to convert the animal units to pound or to per acre on a normal given precipitation year, which I've yet to see since I've lived here, it is between 20 and 25 acres per animal, depending on your grass quality. This is a great example of rotational grazing. So this pasture over here has been untouched since the fall, so this has had a full growing season in it as well. You can look right down the fence line and you can see the brown on the left and the green on the right. Quite honestly, this time of the year, we're a little bit fortunate. Up until this last 2 weeks, we've had a little bit of rain every single week that just kind of kept things going. Everything you see green right now should be fairly brown. So we are in really, really, really good shape. I've got a lot of winter forage here. A lot of winter forage.
How much snow do y'all usually get?
Moisture's just 18 inches. Not much. The prairie grass, they're designed for that.
Right.
So if you were to take a backhoe out here and dig into this sandreed or bluegrass or whatever you want, and just kind of dug a trench and then looked at the grass, a healthy pasture, these grasses will be 12, 15 feet down into the ground. And there's just that little bit sticking up. One thing my wife and I did do when we bought the ranch and took over from the folks, my dad was very grateful. He sent us to a holistic management school. It's an intense 10-day school, just me and 10 other bison guys. And man, did I learn a lot quick. I mean quick. So we came back, thumping our chests and aren't we smart and on and on and on. So over time, when Dad still kind of had his control over the ranch, we slowly worked him into the ideals of holistic management. So in other words, anything we do on the ranch today is going to affect tomorrow and the next day and the next day and the next day. And so we really like to think about what we do around here, how that affects things good, bad, ugly, and indifferent. I can tell you, holistic management is and rotational grazing is the key. We We have healthier animals. I have bigger animals. We have more wildlife. Animals we have never seen before here. Turkeys, elk, deer, the antelope calve on our ranch. The badgers have gone crazy. Coyotes, you name it. No one will tell you, but there's been a wolf and a cougar on the ranch in the last 2 years. So things are changing here. And we're not spraying pesticides, and we're not doing mechanical things. We're working with Mother Nature, because if you couldn't, you're just not going to win playing against her.
Right.
So on our ranch, we have had nutritionists come out, and they say that they know about bison nutrition. I would argue that pretty much nobody knows about bison nutrition. There's the money that's in bovine and cattle's drives science. The money in bison isn't quite there yet, but it's getting there. But we took his word for it. Okay, so he comes out, he measures our grass, just like they do with cattle guys do, and we talked about what's in the grass, winter and summer. We talk about what's in the grass, or in the water in the winter, and then we make a custom mineral blend that's made for wintertime and summertime, and a custom protein block that we supplement during the winter. We also feed Redmond number 4. They love it. We sometimes do the garlic. Only half the herd eats it. The garlic's for fly protection. But I highly recommend this for anything. All my bison buddies use it. We even use it on the kitchen table. We grind it up and use it in our house. It has all these minerals. It's good stuff. It is just good. What are you laughing at, Shannon? Well, you want to take one and suck on it?
Yeah, that's alright. I'll pass on that one. Thanks.
The little guys, these dark orange, they're obviously the calves this year. And so they started being born in April. We had one born July 5th. Unfortunately, didn't make it. And that was the last one. But they're usually all born in April and May. Hi, sweetheart. Hi, sweetie. What are you doing? What are you doing? Did you give me stink eye? Hi. Hi. Yeah, we'll be back. Flies are really bad this year.
Flies have been really bad everywhere we've gone.
They've really been bad. Yeah. So these little guys, when they're born, they're about 40 pounds, 45. That's on average. Within an hour, they can run full speed in the middle of the herd. It's pretty impressive. GHI. These are 2-year-olds going on 3. The G and the G there. They're 6 or 7 years old. So these 2 on the right, they will breed this year, and they will have their first calf when they're 3.
Oh, jeez.
Oh my goodness!
Hey, buddy.
That's Annie.
Hey, buddy. Scared me to death.
She will follow me all over the pasture. I actually remember the day a couple years ago when our friendship started. The herd was like here. I was all the way on the other fence line. I was doing my thing. I had walked in. I turned around, and she was right behind me, scared the bejeebies out of me. And ever since then, when I'm out here, she just follows me around. Okay, so this is a big bull, and we're just gonna move because I don't want my truck hit. Hear that?
Yeah.
That's a bull bison growling.
We heard that yesterday in Custer.
Did you guys go to Custer? My buddy wrote that.
Do I need to roll the window?
Yeah, just stay in the car. Keep the window down.
So can I?
Yep. Shannon, this is 98 Special, and she likes the driver's side, but as soon as you stick a treat out, she's going to be your best friend.
Seriously, just stick
Stick
it
it out.
out.
Yep, just
Make it-
as soon as she grabs it, just kind of like that'll work. We'll get you a little bigger one. You can hold it on the very end of that. There you go. And then again, as soon as she grabs it with her tongue, you can just let it go.
Oh my gosh. Sorry, I'm not real good at this.
Well, we didn't have much of a training either, so she will be just fine. She knows where they're at. God, he's back.
Are you mad at me?
That's because he's 98. You see that? Man, he's just mean. Did I get that out? I did.
Yeah.
Like, bizarre. Right here, you have a mama, C4 or C1, a daughter at age 34, and a calf behind the daughter. It could most likely all three of these are related. So they're very. Hi, Annie. Hi, 90. That's 98 special. Do you need a treat for 98 special? There you go.
You can have this.
She's gonna think you're awesome.
Oh, Jesus. You scare me.
Oh, she can get you. I promise.
Hang on.
I promise.
Here, hang on. Here, sorry.
Come on, Mom. Yeah, she's just kind of.
We got you.
She'll lick your ear.
I was gonna say she's trying to lick my camera.
She'll do it.
I'm sorry.
You just let it go too soon. There you go.
There we
There you go.
go.
There's another one for you. Stick it out there if you like. There you go. You can just grab one. Grab it.
There we go.
This is Pumpkin, and if you'll notice, Pumpkin is the only animal out here with a tag in her right ear. There's a reason for that. No, Pumpkin. Come here, sweetie. She's gonna get. Okay, you didn't get kicked off. There you go, Mama. Pumpkin came through as a calf in the roundup. That's the time when we weigh in. They get their first shot, and only the heifers get shots, by the way. They get ear tags. The vet gives them a check and stuff. So when she comes through, we always put the ear tags on their left side. The vets are on the right side, and she refused to get into the squeeze chute. So a half hour later, and I got animals stacking up, and things aren't, just not good what you want. We just tied her against the corral with ropes. Dad hopped in there with the vet, and they just got her done. So she's kind of special. Let's leave her air tag in there. One right in front of us here. This is a ton of flies. Worse than any of them out here. Nice. All these guys too, if you look in their ears, behind the ear tags, they have another tag, a little button. That's an RFID tag. So if they lose, obviously it's a business. I mean, we love our animals, but it's a business. And records are very important. So, we like to keep track of weights, teeth condition, who's calved, who's not calved, what kind of calf, blah, 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 blah. If they lose the numerical ear tag, then we lose all the data in the computer for that particular animal. But if they have the RFID tag, I can just log them. I know it's like a tattoo. I know exactly who they are. I put a new tag in, transfer the record, and we didn't lose any ground.
I went to tour of the University of Wyoming's livestock research department in 2019, and they had just installed a feeding system.
Yes, that's triggered by that.
When the cow stuck its head in,
Yep.
the cow was had to stand on a scale,
Right.
and it weighed the cow as it ate, and then it weighed how much food it was eating.
It's amazing. That's cool, and it's amazing how quickly those cows can learn that too. That's what they do for that. I was talking to some guys that have some pretty cool buffalo, it's cattle stuff too, but bison guys use it. Long story short, they have some readers that when the cattle walk by, it's kind of like what you're saying, it makes a note or whatever. So I said to them, hey, did you guys design something so that I could plug it in the computer when this ear tag number crosses this threshold, the gate closes? And I thought about doing that. Yeah, we can do that. So they're going to work on that. Here's my point. If I need to get one of these animals in, it's impossible to come out here and just carve off one animal. I mean, it's just, these are bison. There's Nifty again. It's just something else, you see. And I need special. I know you're there.
Just trying to lick the camera.
This is a meatball G35 Mexico. We've got a bull from Canada. 2 bulls from the 777 Ranch. And the fact is, their skin's pretty thick. Yeah, the flies are bothering them here and there. They have a few horn marks and all that. No, but they're learning from mama. Here's that bull again. Give it the 90. Just throw that out. And keep that bull away from us. All about her. His lipstick is park, and you guys, you're gonna hand me your phone with your camera on.
Okay.
And I'm gonna take a picture of you guys safely. Okay. And so you leave the door open, and you guys just step out 6 feet that way, and I get a bunch of these buffalo in the background. And then if I being pretty calm, that's a 777. So from there, in 4 steps, you can be at 6 steps, 40 miles an hour, 35, 40 miles an hour. In 6 steps. And you walk up to that fence and leave it. He's ready. The reason he's not right now is because the ladies are on this side of the fence. Huh. Big price of commercial rancher, they'll be done until we're 13. They'll be on their way to being slaughtered. He's a big boy there, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. That's what I was just looking at. He's a monster.
There's marks all over that one front side.
Are the marks on this one from fighting?
Yeah, sorry, I didn't hear you.
All right, so I found you guys on, I believe it was agritourismworld.com or something like that.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
I was looking for stuff to do in this area.
Yeah.
But how has the agritourism?
Well, for us, it's been great. You're the 3rd tour today. Makes it hard to build a fence,
Yeah.
and I get to a point where I have to turn tours down.
Right.
I mean, there's stuff I have to do.
Right.
It's also why we charge for tours, because it's my time and,
Right,
and all that
right,
kind of
right.
thing. But to answer your question, we started basically all our marketing was on Facebook, and we dabbled in Instagram a little bit, and we got away from that. And then as my wife and I have become more involved in the community, we were on boards. One of the boards we got involved in was the tourism board. And then even before that, the tourism director was trying to help us generate business and agritourism here in Kimball County. So that's been a real partnership, and we're just blessed that we have her here and that she works real hard for that. We've had the director of the tourism for the state of Nebraska has been on the ranch 3 times. We're to the point now where the popularity and there's not a lot to do in western Nebraska, so this is one of the bigger things to do, one of the highlights.
Right.
So the tourism folks in Nebraska put us a blurb in all the Nebraska magazines and all the truck stops and tourist locations and those kinds of things. So it's really been pretty much through grassroots marketing, word of mouth. We're approaching 2,000 followers. One of the last posts we just had 33,000 views. So we're generating.
We started following you after.
Yeah.
I found you. It may have been through the tourism board of Nebraska, but Nebraska. But I had found a website, just agritourismworld.com, and you can go and pick a state, and it pulls up all these.
Cool.
And
I'd be interested in you sending me how did I do that? I had a card for you. I'll get it in the house. Send me. I wouldn't mind a link to that, just so I could see it.
It's pretty cool. I mean, that's how I found the place in Custer that we stayed at. We stayed the last 2 nights in it's a Pleasant Valley meat goat ranch.
Huh, I've heard of it. I have heard of it.
Beautiful. They've got beautiful little cabins.
Yeah.
But you're like 4 miles down a dirt road, and it's just beautiful.
Yeah, we're next year we're talking about putting a couple RV spots up and that kind of thing.
Kind of use like Harvest Host type deal.
Right. Well, sort of. Yeah, I've read about them, but yeah, similar. Yeah, that kind of deal. We're very fortunate that we've had a lot of people working on our behalf, and I think it's a give and take. We give a lot back to the community, and they give a lot to us. Mm-hmm. So 2 tours next week are folks from Kimball that have family coming in from out of town, and they just hey, can we bring them out? Yes, we have a lot of traction on TripAdvisor.
Oh yeah.
So if you look at the attractions in western Nebraska, there's 2 of them. We're number 2. If I get a couple more reviews, we'd be number 1. It's High Point, Nebraska, and here. High Point, Nebraska is the highest elevation in Nebraska. you're about 10 feet lower right here than you are there.
Yeah.
It's literally 20 miles down the road. But you walk out this big field, and it looks like an old cemetery headstone with some metal around it, and that is it. This is a little more exciting.
Yeah.
So TripAdvisor has been a really big one for us, especially for out-of-staters and East Coast folks and California folks. Agritourism is a big deal, huge deal, and bigger and bigger. That too, and not only that, but folks are amazed once they do get out here to learn about where their meat comes from, how it gets here, all the things that we have to go through.
Hey, I want to point something out here. If you look on the right-hand side of the road with this camera, it's all pine trees. You look to the left-hand side of the road, the only trees you see are cottonwoods along the riverbanks. But, well, okay, there's two pine trees.
Yeah.
But we're leaving the Black Hills, and what did you say the name of the place was we were headed into?
We are in Buffalo Gap National Grassland.
If you enjoyed this episode, consider subscribing so you can join us on the rest of our crazy adventures. Remember to get out and find your own adventure, because even bad adventures make great stories. Thanks for tagging along with us today, guys.